Hello, this is Juniper of Solavi Studio, and welcome to my backyard. Today is the equinox. It is the day when day and night are equal, when the moon and the sun share the skies equally. And we are going into a time of year where we will be getting a lot more moon time than sun time. So this time of year I love, as you can see, the leaves have started falling. They're all over the place. And it's cooler. The temperature's dropped. So it's, I've been really enjoying, instead of making sun teas by putting herbs in a jar and setting it out in the sun with some water, I've been really more enjoying having hot tea. And I've been enjoying getting out my wraps and shawls and things of that nature. Just to bundle up, just to be cozy. There's been a lot more rain. There's been a lot more bird activity. Seems like a lot of the birds are we're out. Lately, I've been seeing a lot more frogs because of the rain. Sorry, last night when I was driving home, it was raining, and there were frogs hopping all over the road, which is terrifying because I don't want to squish them with my car, because that's terrible. But so I always try to make sure that they don't land in the path of my tires. But there's been a lot more frogs, and today there is a frog about that big that's been hanging out in my backyard, but today it was out when the sun was out just for a minute, and then it hopped back underneath the propane tank. So that's pretty exciting, because when I first moved here, like I had said before, I believe that they used a lot of pesticides, and frogs and pesticides don't mix. In recent years, it's kind of terrifying sometimes when I need to mow my lawn, because the frogs will just be jumping out of the way of these swinging swords. It's terrible, but try to give them enough notice, and when I see them jumping, I slow right down and kind of stop the mower, walk over there and scare them off before I potentially torture them. But anyways, that was kind of morbid, but it's the time of decay. It's the time of the frost coming. So it's a time of great harvest. So any apples that are left on the trees, any squash that are left in the fields, any corn left on, any cobs left on the corn stalks, if you don't collect them before the frost comes, then they're no good. Certain things like carrots and onions and things aren't so frost sensitive, but all the tomatoes and the peppers and all of that, you have to harvest it or you can't use it. So it's that time of year where there is a lot of decay. There's a lot of the darker part of the cycle as we move into the darker part of the year. But it's also, with all of the abundance of the harvest, it's also a time of great gratitude of, oh, thank you so much for this delicious apple cider, or this yummy pumpkin pie, or, whatever seasonal treats you really enjoy. And there's a lot of cinnamon. Yesterday, I was walking around the store, and I swear to God, they are using some sort of mild cinnamon pumpkin flavor and putting it through the air system, because throughout the whole store, it was one of those multi-stores where it's a grocery store and you can buy oil for your car and light bulbs for your house and the whole nine. But everywhere in that store smelled kind of like pumpkin and cinnamon. So they're really trying to bump up this. Luckily, I don't mind those types of smells, but it's those warm, spicy, homey smells and mulled cider, or apple cider with a few cinnamon sticks heated up on the stove, is such a great treat for this time of year, and it's just so satisfying. So gratitude is so important right now for all of the gifts that we get from the earth. Like, yeah, we have to pay the other humans to make it available to us, but the earth gives us these things for free. And what a blessing. What a blessing that is. So gratitude for me brings on a sense of contentment. Like, no matter if there's aspects or things that happen that aren't perfect, if I'm thankful for things, if I appreciate what I have and express that and think those sorts of thoughts of, oh, I'm so grateful that this tea is so warm so my hands don't get cold. Oh, I'm so thankful that I have this amazing seasonal meal to eat. Oh, I'm so, just all the things you're thankful for. You're thankful that if it's too chilly in your house, you can turn the heat on, because for a while, it's been, for me, I don't have air conditioning, but I haven't had to use the heater. I think I might have turned it on yesterday, though, because my daughter had been in soccer practice out in the rain, and so I wanted her to warm up and have a cozy home, because she got really chilled to the bone because she was outside watching a tennis match before soccer practice, and so she had been out in the weather for hours and hours, and it wasn't a warm day. So I did turn on the heat, but what a luxury. I'm so thankful that all they have to do is, touch this little touch screen and my house gets warm. All the modern conveniences. I'm so glad that I don't have to haul water from my stream. It's not even very deep. It would be rough going in the summertime. But even to wash some dishes or something, I'm so glad I don't have to haul buckets of water from down here up to the house. It's a blessing. It's also a time of balancing, because the moon and the sun. Actually, I have my beautiful journal that I've refilled I don't know how many times. So I'm thankful that for the past 20 plus years, I've had this beautiful journal that I can refill with inexpensive sketchbooks and write in it. I love this thing. But it's a time of balancing when day and night are equal. So, in this time of balancing, of getting rid of what doesn't serve you, what you don't need to store for the coming winter. It's a time of preparation as well. Like, how many apples can I store without, how many. So the farmers are weighing how much can they store, what do they need. If I get rid of this item so I can bring in more of this item, that might be the better bet. So as it's a time of balancing, like, what do I need and what do I have? And the things that you have are wonderful. Either if it's something you don't need anymore, be thankful for the use that you had, or thankful for what it brought to you, and send it on its way. I mean, if it's taking up space in your home that could be used better for what you need at this moment, perfect time to balance things out, perfect time to gather what you need and let go of what you don't. I was going to talk about, I was going to tell you that story, but it's not feeling right now. Um, but especially in where we live, in our culture, where it's standard to have running water, and not only running water, but hot and cold running water. It's standard to have refrigeration. It's standard to have heat. It's standard to have clean drinking water. It's standard to have a choice of 5,000 food items at the grocery store. Standard. You know, you're not just scraping together pennies to buy one bag of beans or rice or some other grain that will feed your family for the next month. I mean, you have so many options. We have so much to be thankful for. And I know that sometimes I can get so caught up in first world problems. But at the end of the day, we have so much to be thankful for. And we also have rights and so much more freedom than people do in other places. I can see my breath right now. It's kind of odd. That's how cold it is. That we do have the opportunity in a society that may not out and out encourage entrepreneurship. It may not out and out and encourage all of these things, but at the end of the day, anyone can apply for a business license. Anyone can apply to go to school. There's financing options. Anyone can apply to anything. You can apply yourself to whatever you want to apply yourself to. For the most part. I mean, you know. But we are so fortunate to have so much opportunity and so much freedom that when I find myself getting caught up in first world problems, it's laughable. So in this time of balancing, this time of gratitude, I hope that you enjoy the shifting of the seasons and the return to the more cozy and quiet time of year, getting out of the busy hustle and bustle and those very long days which you can fill with so many things because the weather's so nice. And even though I love the summer, for me, it's a true gift when this time of year comes around and a hot cup of tea is so comforting. Okay, blessings on your day.